Hey, Facebook Live, what's going on, you guys? What's going on, YouTube, Periscope? Listen, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to this video. Now, listen, I'm going to give y'all a second to come on in because I want you to get all of this. I don't want you to miss any of it. Not a single drop, not a drip, not anything. Come on in. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I have tea to spill. Come on, y'all. I have tea to spill. Y'all have been out of my tea for almost 2 weeks. Dying, right? Dying. I needed it. Okay, but I got it now, right? So the results you guys have been seeing, that was without my tea. That was with the coffee. So the weight I've lost, that was with the CBD coffee. Now I got my tea back, baby. Gourmet abs loading. It's happening. So, you guys, the title of this live is When God Orders Your Steps, ... Walk on through. When God orders your steps, ... Walk on through. So listen, what did I tell y'all this morning? What did I tell y'all? I said that you have to create the life that you want. You have to manifest what you desire. You got to manifest it. You got to bring it to pass. You got to speak it into existence. You got to walk like it's already done because it is already done, and God is simply waiting for you to step into it, right? So, amazing thing happened to me today. Several amazing things, first of all, right? Several amazing things happened to me today. But listen, my God. So there are some things that I have been needing to do for my business. You know, some things I've been needing to do for my business to take it to the next level. And so I made a decision that I was going to do some stuff, right? It was some stuff that I was going to do, some stuff that I needed to do, some stuff that I know will be game changer for me, right? It's a whole new season, right? A whole new season for me. And so what I knew was there was something that I was going to have to do, right? So I knew that. So I schedule a call. Now I know that my account did not look like what it needed to look like in order for me to do this thing that I needed to do. I knew that, right? But I also knew that I had to make a move, like I had to do something, right? And I tell you guys all the time the importance of investing in you. Not just investing in you just for the sake of investing in you, but investing in you because this thing is tripping. But investing in you to the assistance that you need, right? So there are some things that I needed to happen in my business and to happen for me. I'm not doing all that. And I knew I had to do it. So literally, I scheduled the call. I started to cancel it. I was going to cancel it. Hey, sis. I was going to cancel it, but I knew that I could not cancel it. Now, this thing is going to get on my nerves, y'all. I knew I couldn't cancel it. I knew that I had to. Listen to me. I had to do this, right? And so when I wanted to cancel, God said no. He said, no, you cannot cancel. I said, okay, God. Clearly, you're in control. So I went on and I had the call. In having the call, this is the interesting thing that happened. The interesting thing that happened is that, listen, y'all, bear with me for just a second. Bear with me for a second. Uh, y'all, stay with me for a minute, please. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. So, hold on. Okay. Right. I just had to make sure I was going the right way. So, listen, I knew I had to do it. I knew I couldn't cancel. God wouldn't let me cancel, even though I knew that in my account I did not have the funds necessary to do what it was that I needed to do. But God said, no, do it anyway. So I did my call. I got the information that I needed. Um, we got to the point where I had to make a decision. I made a decision, but I knew that fiscally right now in this moment, I did not have the resources necessary for what I needed to do. Remember, I already knew that going in. I already knew that. I didn't know what God was going to do, had no clue. But let me tell y'all something. This is why you got to let God order your steps. When I tell you from the moment I got on the call, the favor of God was on my life, the favor of God. Listen, when I tell you this was a God connection, it was a divine connection, and it was bigger than what I was needing to do, right? Bigger than that. But this is what I need you to understand. God ordered my steps and ordered the gentleman's steps that I was working with. So both our steps are being ordered by the Lord. God has a plan that he needs to have executed. Woo, my God. Let me tell y'all, when I tell y'all that God worked this thing out for me, God worked this thing out for me. And when I tell you that it worked out better than what I had imagined, it worked out better than what I had imagined. And I'm telling y'all, y'all are missing out when you just do not trust God to order your steps. If God tells you to do it, do it. Do it even if you don't understand it. Do it even if you don't get it. Do it anyway. And then, check this out. Because what God will do is he'll make things so clear. He'll make it so crystal clear that everybody involved knows that it could have been nobody but God. Nobody but God could have done this. Nobody but God could have orchestrated this. Nobody but God could have made this come together like this. Listen, when we understand that, baby, listen, you'll stop being afraid. You'll stop being stressed. You'll stop being worried. You'll stop being anxious because you understand that God has absolutely got all of it. Y'all, this thing that God is doing called life is so much. Now, I don't know why this thing is, hold on. This thing got me going all kinds of ways, okay? And I know that's because God really, God is trying to get a message to you, and the enemy does not want you all to get this message. But listen, I've got to be obedient to the Spirit of God, and if I get lost being obedient, I'm going to have to get lost. Because I'm going to tell you something, God is doing something, and it is something that is amazing. If we will participate, but we got to be an active participant in our own liberation. God desires to liberate us, but we've got to be an active participant in our own liberation. See, listen, this is the problem. Some of y'all are sitting there waiting for Harriet Tubman to come and drag you on out of your bondage. But this is the thing about Harriet. Harriet didn't just drag people out of their bondage. They had to be an active participant in their own liberation. And if they decided that they were going to turn back, she was like, listen, if you turn back, I'm going to have to kill you. Okay? And some of you feel like you've got to have somebody who's threatening you, right? In order for you to continue with your liberation. And what I'm telling you is there should be no need for anyone to threaten you for your liberation. Like, you ought to want your own liberation for yourself. You ought to want it because you want to be free. You ought to want it because too often we find ourselves in a place where we want the liberation, but we're not willing to do what's necessary to get it. We want the liberation, but we're not willing to do what's necessary to get it. I want y'all to marinate on that for a second. We want to be free, but we don't want to do what's necessary to get it. Let me tell y'all something. No one can want my liberation more than I want my liberation. No one can want my freedom more than I want my freedom. No one can want my destiny more than I want my destiny. And if that is the case, there's a problem. There's a problem. And I'm telling y'all that it is time to stop relying on other people for the solution. God has given you everything you need to actively participate in your liberation. Now, I'm not saying that you may not need help or guidance or coaching or whatever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is stop expecting other people to do the work, the heavy lifting for you. No one is responsible for doing the heavy lifting for your liberation but you. And if other people are the ones that are doing the heavy lifting in your liberation, I promise you, you're not going to be free. The truth of the matter is that people benefit from your bondage. Do y'all get that? People benefit from your bondage. Now, this is how I'm just going to give y'all, listen to me. If y'all listen, I promise you, you're going to be blessed. But listen, if you are in a position where you are working with someone and they want to keep you in a place where you are dependent upon them, that's not who you need to work with, because they're not concerned about your liberation. They're concerned about your money. Did y'all hear what I said? If you're working with someone and they're not giving you the tools and skills that you need in order for you to be free, and they're making it so that you're dependent on them, they're not concerned about your liberation. They're concerned about their money. Okay? You got to get that. You got to stop. And that's the crazy thing. Let me tell y'all what the crazy thing is. Folks will spend large sums of money with people that don't give two flying flips about them, but don't want to pay the people that really do care about them and want to see them win. Now, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of, but I promise you, I have witnessed it over and over and over again. I've looked at it, I've observed it, and I made a conscious decision that I personally, me, Dr. V, will no longer be participating in that foolishness, okay? Because let me tell you something. When you truly understand the amount of value that you add to people's lives, and you begin to adjust. This is a season where God has been showing me like never before. He's been revealing me to me so that I could see my divinity. I could see the God in me. I could see my heart when it came to people. I could see the strategies that God gave me. I could see all of those things. God has been revealing that stuff to me, and he's been making it abundantly clear who I'm called to, like on a whole nother level. Like, this thing has been blowing my mind, but I know that it is nobody but God giving me the clarity necessary in order for me to move forward in the capacity that I have to move forward in. And unfortunately, it means that there are some relationships, some situationships that I'm going to have to let go. And it's unfortunate, but it's necessary. It's a part of growth. It's a part of the growth process. It's what happens, right? And so I just understand that now. I understand that like never before. I get it, God. I'm clear. When God helps you to get clear about things, hold on to that clarity, because I promise you things will come to try to make it cloudy. But if you hold on to the clarity that God has given you, then you'll be able to move the way that you need to be moving. And that's the key in this season. Move the way that you need to move for God's purpose for your life to be fulfilled. Not for other people to feel comfortable. It's not about their comfort. It's about God's purpose. It's not about their comfort or yours. It's about God's purpose. And God's purpose is so much greater than you understand, greater than you know, greater than you can even conceive of at this particular moment in your life. It is necessary you understand it, because if you do not understand it, you will miss it. You will miss it. So when God orders your steps, walk through. Did you hear what I said? When God orders your steps, walk through. And whatever it is that you have to do to figure that thing out for the walkthrough, do that. I promise you. All you got to do is be obedient to the Spirit of God, and I promise you, He will give you a way. He will give you a way. It'll make it clear. It'll make it plain. He will give you a way. You know, in the Bible, they talk about God providing a way of escape, but God doesn't just provide ways of escape. He also provides ways to get to your destiny. I want you to think about it. Joseph provided a way for his family, a way for provision, a way for food, a way for breakthrough for his family. But it cost him to be in that position. He had to go through stuff. He had to be tossed in the pit. He went to prison. Like all this stuff happened to him that was bad, but it was so that he could be in the place that he needed to be, blessing for the liberation, for the feeding of his family, like literally. And God is desiring to set us up. And He'll set some of us up to be in position to be the help to someone else. Today, I want you to know that God has a plan for your life, and when He orders your steps, you walk through. When He opens the door, you walk through. He gives you a way, you walk through. And you don't stop until you get to where God is taking you. And know that everything you need, He'll provide. There's a song. It says, all that I needed, thine hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, to me. This when you go back to the old school, thy faithfulness. Thy faithfulness. Morning to morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thine hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord, to me. Baby, God desires to be your faithfulness, but will you let Him? You guys, listen. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. If you want to see the faithfulness of God show up in your life, then you walk through the door that He opens for you. He's waiting for you. Listen, you guys. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be blessed. Mwah.